what's going on? It's Carl here, back with another video, and this is my review of the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. It's essentially a larger brother than the Galaxy S6 Edge, one of my favorite Samsung and Android devices of 2015, and think of this like the iPhone 6, but this would be the iPhone 6 Plus, and that is not a bad thing. Comes with a bigger display, a bigger battery life, and this is what I think. When the original Galaxy S6 Edge came out, it was highlighted as Samsung's flagship. I'm going to say it was rated higher than the normal Galaxy S6. It had those beautiful curved displays that everyone was going crazy about, but for me, it was just a tad bit too small. And you can see that the edges are on both sides of the display, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around, pun intended, if this is more of a gimmick or selling feature, but I won't deny that it does look pretty slick. You can see the big difference when you compare it to the likes of a regular device like the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, which is on the left, and you can see the curved screen of the GS6 Edge Plus. One thing that I will say about the GS6 Edge Plus is it is very difficult to hold. That's mainly due to its big size, and of course the tapered edges doesn't really give you a solid grip to hold onto. I would suggest either putting a skin on it or maybe a case with rubber sides, but I can say that I've almost dropped this thing many times in the short amount of time that I've had with it. Here, you can really get a sense of the tapered edges, and if you're not used to it, I would say they feel even a bit sharp to your fingers to hold. Around the rest of the device, completely made out of aluminum, very premium and very rich feeling. Up top, we have the SIM card slot tray. On the bottom, the micro USB port for charging, 3.5mm headphone jack, and speaker grills. On one side, we do have the on and off button / sleep button, and on the other side, we do have the volume rockers. We also have the standard physical home button, which also serves as the fingerprint sensor, which is also really good and much improved. Two capacitive buttons, the back as well as the multitasking One last thing I'm going to say about the physical design, just in case you haven't seen a Samsung Galaxy device yet, or the newest ones, it is very premium, made out of Gorilla Glass. It does look very nice, very pretty, but it is the biggest fingerprint magnet I have ever seen. Also a tad bit slippery. Save yourself some agony, throw a skin on it, throw a case on it, and it will also help prevent any small scratches from appearing on that fine glass surface. Other than looking a bit fancy, the edges actually do serve a purpose. You can swipe to the left and you can access a small menu screen. From here, you can make a few different shortcuts, so you can choose to add contacts to quick dial, or you can set shortcuts to applications and quick launch them. A nice little feature to have, and it helps me keep my home screen nice and tidy without all those extra shortcuts. Plus, it does start a lot of conversations when people see you use that edge area. Getting onto the camera, which it shares with the regular GS6 Edge, the Galaxy Note 5, it is the same 16 megapixel sensor with OIS, and it is a very good camera indeed. I won't go too far in depth. The autofocus is great, color saturation is awesome. It does also record in 4K, but you lose the optical image stabilization in this mode. Swiping to the left will give you some of the options, and swiping right will lead you to the gallery. Here are a few sample pics as well as video footage. Let me know what you think of them down below in the comments. And just one more thing, the front-facing camera, pretty decent selfies, nice and wide. Perfect for your Snapchat game or even for Insta. Getting onto the performance, just like its younger sibling, it has the latest and greatest internals, 64-bit octa-core processor, 4 gigs of RAM, the latest GPU built in-house in Samsung, 32 gigs of memory, only upgradable to 64. This version, the Edge Plus, does not have 128 gigs unfortunately, and of course no micro SD card slot anymore. In terms of benchmarks, the specs do not lie. It destroys it. 1495 single core score, 5144 multi-core score. And when you use the GS6 Edge Plus, it is extremely quick, very snappy, as it should be for a flagship that retails for $800. It is running Android 5.1.1 out of the box, with of course Samsung's TouchWiz skin over top. Regardless, any other application that you throw at the GS6 Edge Plus, whether it be gaming, social media, browsing the net, watching media content, multitasking, this thing can handle like a beast. And as I said, as a flagship that costs this much money, it really should. During my time that I've had this device, maybe 3 or 4 times I've had an application unexpectedly close, but I feel this is pretty standard across most Android devices and maybe fixed in a future software update, but I think that's just something that you have to live with. Don't get me wrong, very quick, very snappy, playing 3D games also. The GS6 Edge Plus with a bigger screen was a huge pleasure to use. Overall, other than the GS6 Edge Plus being a bit hard to hold, I found this a very solid device. A 3000 milliamp hour battery will last you the entire day without any issues, plus it does have fast and wireless charging. Good job, Samsung. I am a big fan of your larger devices. That will wrap up my review of the GS6 Edge Plus. Let me know what you think of this device down below in the comments. And I honestly think I would prefer this than the Galaxy S6 Edge, the regular version. I'm a fan of bigger screens, bigger displays, you can watch content easier, and it always has that added bonus of extra battery life. If you guys found this video of any use, be sure to smash that like button. Stay super awesome, and I will catch the rest of you in my next episode. Peace.